Welcome YouTube, I'm Andrew Does Hair, and I made a rookie mistake as I started this video and messed up my audio. So this head you're looking at right here, when I originally recorded this intro, it was all uncut and frazzled looking, but now I get to re-record it and you get to see the end product at the beginning. So the point I want to make today, well, the point I want to address is blow drying. Every time I post any kind of tutorial or advice on hairstyling, I mentioned something about blow drying because I blow dry almost every head. I mean, I'm talking 99.5% of the heads in my chair get a blow dry. And every time I post something about here's how I style it, here's how I blow dry, some guy on the internet who thinks he knows everything will come along and say, that's gonna damage the hair. What are you telling these people? And it drives me crazy because, for one, I make my living blow drying hair. And if there's people out there spreading this rumor that the hairdryer is just gonna melt your hair off, it's a little bit irritating to me. But even more so, it's irritating because these people spreading this don't know what they're talking about. I've been doing hair almost 15 years. I blow dry hair all day, every day. At times in my career, I've maintained clienteles of upwards of 300 regular clients. And during all of my years, I've had two guys who, without other circumstances like chlorine damage or sun damage, have actually gotten blow dryer damage. And in both cases, when I asked them, well, how often are you blow drying? They said, well, every day, twice a day, most of the time, once in the morning, once after the gym. Well, yeah, of course you're going to damage your hair there. So let's use some deductive reasoning and figure out how bad the hairdryer actually is. Have you ever walked into a salon and looked around and seen, 10 chairs where 5 of them are blow drying at once? Are those 5 people in there getting their hair melted off? Have you ever been into a salon where people aren't blow drying hair? If it was so bad, why are there businesses built on it? What is a blow dry bar? Is that just a place where people go to have their hair ruined? So if you think it's so bad to blow dry your hair, you got to look at the entire industry built off of blow drying hair. The thing about your hair you have to understand, and I cut this to about 6 inches a little bit earlier to make this point. Your hair grows on average about a half an inch per month. And so 6 inches of hair, the ends here, would have taken 12 months to come from here all the way to here. Now if you're blow drying your hair once a week, 52 times you blow dried your hair. Somebody with long hair like that, blow drying twice a week, 3 times a week, they're going to put heat on the hair quite a bit, 50 times, 100 times, 150 times by the time the root grows to become the ends and then gets trimmed off. So the only way to fix damaged hair, honestly, is to cut it off. But you got to look at people who have 20 inches of hair and imagine how many times they've blow dried that. Those are the people who should be worried about hairdryer damage. Those are the people whose hair have seen heat 250, 300 times. And on top of that, the older your hair is, the more it's been sat out in the sun, the more it's been in and out of chlorine in the pool. If you're using cheap shampoo and conditioner and you've got super long hair, the more you've got crappy products stripping everything off of your hair. And it's all of these other factors that play into the hairdryer damaging your hair. Somebody with shortish, healthy hair is not going to damage their hair with the hairdryer alone. They're going to damage their hair going in and out of the pool. They're going to damage their hair laying in the sun. They're going to damage their hair bleaching it and coloring it every time they go see their hairstylist, going light and going dark and going light and going dark. And it's stacking all these factors that is what ultimately leads to damage. So this hair is human hair. I don't know what was done to it in the past. It probably was colored when it was put onto this head. But what I did here, after I cut a nice clean straight line, I got a photo of it to show what the ends looked like. I sat here and I blow dried it 30 times. I got most of them on the time lapse here that you're watching, but I kind of messed up my time lapse timing, and so the first 5 or 6 blow dries I didn't really include. But I sat and I wet the hair down and I blow dried it, and I wet it down and I blow dried it. And now that it's been blow dried 30 times, I'm going to come back and take another photo of it so we can compare the ends before and after 30 blow dries. Side note, this hair is looking freaking beautiful and shiny anyways. I will admit, as I was blow drying it 30 times, near the end, it was a little bit harder to get it to hold some bend. It was starting to do this kind of stick straight straw thing a little bit. And it was taking a little bit more time and effort and heat to get that shine on it. And so, maybe that could be considered damage, but the ends look healthy. It's a nice looking head of hair still after 30 blow dries. Now, if I had taken this head and I threw it in the pool 6 times, and then I took it and laid it on a towel at the beach 6 times for 8 hours at a time, and then I bleached it maybe twice, and then I came back here and tried this, might have completely different results. So you have to understand, you have to like consider when somebody says, "Oh, that's going to damage your hair." What is their motive? Are they selling you a heat protectant? Whether or not that's the case, if you're really worried about damaging your hair, there's a million heat protectants on the market, and I mean they're all pretty much kind of the same product with different labels on them. If you're actually worried about it, go get a heat protectant. If you're actually worried about it, this is the ultimate bottom line. So I'll say this. I was talking about all the factors that stack up to damage your hair. There's one factor is your genetics. Some people just have brittle hair. Like I myself tried to grow my hair out like Kurt Cobain a few years ago, and it could not get past like my chin. It kept breaking because I just have fine, thin hair. And some people are afflicted with that. And if that's your case, that sucks. But you stack all the other factors on top of it, and that's where hair damage starts to come from. It's all the factors. So ultimately, the number one thing you need to do if you're worried about damaging your hair is ask your freaking hairstylist. Ask the person who touches your hair, who knows your hair, who recommends products to you, who has blow dried your hair 17 times by now. And if you don't have that person, I mean, and it wouldn't surprise me, no offense to anybody watching YouTube, but if you're watching YouTube to learn how to style your hair, I'm willing to bet that you don't have a good hairstylist that you can trust and go to. But above all, instead of sitting and arguing online about, that's going to damage your hair, and no, Andrew said to blow dry it all you want because it's not going to burn it off. No, don't take my advice in that way. My ultimate advice is you probably won't damage your hair. You really probably won't. But if you are actually worried that you will, go see a professional. Nothing you can get through a screen will help you to know how this is going to work for your hair, from anybody. Go sit down with somebody who blow dries hair all day, every day, and maybe even on the first visit, they can probably tell you a lot about your hair, but by the second or third visit, they'll know your hair better than you know your hair. So one last bonus here, just for everybody who's so worried that the hairdryer is going to burn their hair off, I'm going to deliberately burn this hair off with the hairdryer, and I'm going to put up a timer on the screen to see how long it takes. Now this particular blow dryer that I'm using, this is by Babyliss. It's the Babyliss Pro Rapido. It's the hottest hairdryer I've ever found. I freaking love this thing. And I actually find that it gets hotter if I put it on the low airflow setting and the high heat. So I'm going to use that to burn this hair off and see how long it takes. Timer starts now. I don't smell burning yet. Okay, now it's starting to smell like burning. Just a little bit though. I am burning my thumb. Still attached. It's probably not very happy, but it's attached. Man, I've wasted a mannequin head for this. Nah, I can still give it a fade. I don't think that's coming off. I mean, I've definitely blow dried a kink into it. Ow, it's hot. I don't really see anything. Let's get the close-up shot for you guys. I mean, maybe there's some broken pieces there. Here's my thumb. So there you have it. It's really freaking hard. It is really, really hard to damage your hair with a hairdryer alone. You have to want to do it.